Live. Let's see who's actually out tonight. Let's see who's actually home watching YouTube. Is anybody out there today? Anybody out there? Looks like we have eight people now joining us. If you have any questions regarding real estate out here in Las Vegas, Nevada, now is the time to actually ask your question. Hey, Gabby. I heard that, I believe you spoke to Dan, didn't you? I actually need to give you a call. Jerome, what's going on, Jerome? Got a real estate question? Fire away. Fire it away. Matter of fact, let me move this camera right here as I'm working. Answer some of you guys' questions. I know. Trust me, when you're actually looking for homes, oh my God, it's going to be hella fun. But also can actually be very stressful as well. But don't worry, Gabby, because I'm actually literally hold your hand through the process. So we're going to make it fun for you for sure. Okay. When is the next upload? That's a very good question. Unfortunately, I've been so busy with work and showing so much properties. I definitely have been lagging on uploading videos. However, we should have a video tomorrow. We got, I think 3 more properties, and it's actually by Lennar, and it's in Stone Bridge up in the Summerlin area. And pricing is going to be hovering about $450 by the time you are done. Yes, I can definitely show some more modern homes. What I've noticed that when we start getting in homes around the 1.1 and up, a lot of the listing agents, for some apparent reason, they do not want me to film their property. Only certain agents are okay with it. I don't know why. It just feels like when you hit that 1.1 and up, it's a whole different caliber. It's a whole different market. A lot of listing agents tend to be selfish with their listing, I guess you can say, and kind of really want to hold on to it, and only themselves will promote it, but not understanding that a channel like this that has over 65,000 subscribers that want this type of content, they can actually sell their home. If I had a listing that was $5 million, whoever wants to help me list the property and get it out there, get it exposed, the more the better. Hey, what's up, Kimberly? I was actually in Hawaii out in December for about a whole month. Hilo too as well. Oh, I'm doing a great job. Thank you so much. I really, really do appreciate that. Let's say 400,000 credit. I couldn't read it fast enough. I got to jump on YouTube to actually, it's hard to see this on my phone. Give me just a second. Let me jump online here. Go to YouTube real quick. So that way I can read your questions. Guys, it's a Saturday night. Shouldn't you guys be out cruising? Let's see here. What do we have? Going back to those $1 million homes. Trust me, I really want to show you guys what's going on. There's so many beautiful homes. I really enjoy showing the homes anywhere from like 1.1 million all the way up to 10 million. I mean, these properties are like jaw-dropping. It is crazy. Okay, let's see here. How much do I have to make in order to qualify for $800,000? So here's the thing. That's actually a very good question. Number one, it depends on which lender that you go to and also their debt to income ratio. Some lenders you can go to and the max that they can pay you out for debt to income ratio could be 42%. You may go to another company, it could be at 50%. However, yes, you do have to make a certain dollar amount. I'm not a lender, so I can't really run those numbers. However, just to kind of give you a general idea, for an $800,000 home, you should at least be bringing in about almost $6,000 to $7,000 a month, and you should have no debt. I believe you shouldn't have any problems. However, it is always best to contact a lender to get that information accurate, okay? Do I know of any first-time homebuyer programs? Yes, I know a bunch of programs out there. You got the 3% down, which they'll actually pay for your 3%. You also got the 5% conventional that they'll take care of that too as well. There's so many programs out here that you can actually qualify, and a lot of clients that are looking at homes below the 400 mark, they're taking advantage of that situation. So if you guys ever gone through a foreclosure or a short sale in the past, you still can get these type of loans, okay? And that's what we call boomerang buyers. And for more information, give me a call, and I will actually link you to the right person that can take a look at your situation. Okay, wife and I are thinking of moving to Vegas here in the next couple of years. What areas do you think will get bang for your buck? You know what? I'm gonna actually have to release a video. Also, if that's something that you are very interested in, just send me an email requesting the top 10 zip codes. I have all the zip codes that are actually broken down for the month of January, where it actually shows you the appreciation and what those percentages are within those areas. But this is how it works here in Las Vegas. You have all these zip codes that are out. Certain zip codes are more desirable. So what happens is everybody may want to flock to a certain zip code. Let's just say, I'm throwing this out here, okay? Let's just say Summerlin, okay? Now, Summerlin has 4 zip codes. Everybody's trying to get out there. What happens is the price per square foot, it gets so crazily ridiculous. What happens is now buyers will tend to flock to a different zip code or something nearby. Then what happens is that zip code will also increase. So what happens is throughout all the Las Vegas Valley with all the zip codes, what will happen is it will actually make it rounds all the zip codes by the time it actually comes back. So, and also real quick, when you talk about bang for your buck, it really also depends on what is it that you are looking to do. If you are looking to buy a cash flow property, your equity position in the future may not be that much, but your cash flow, okay, your cash flow will be crazy abundant high, okay? But however, if you're looking for an equity position because you're going to live in the property just for a few years and you decide to sell, then now that's a different strategic play. So when you ask that type of question, the problem is it's such a broad question. I would actually have to get more detailed information from you to find out what your goals are. Are you planning to live in 1, 2, 3, 10 years? And what are the horizons? In addition to that, one of the best things to do is to get with the county, with the zoning, okay? Because you want to forecast to see what type of zonings are actually taking place as far as commercial growth, okay? From there, you will be able to find out what zip codes and what plans that they have for the near future. If you can actually catch that up front and you're buying based upon an investment property or you're speculating, chances of you getting an equity position is pretty high out here, okay? Let's see what else we got here. Why do you skip me? I'm so sorry. I wasn't trying to skip you. What does your credit have to look like for the programs? That also depends on the type of lender, the type of program. Let's just say you decided to go to Wells Fargo, okay? These programs will actually have a certain credit score. Your lender or that lending institution that you go to will have a certain credit score. So this is what we call overlays. So this is how it works. When you get financing with a lender, you have to meet their guidelines. Based upon their guidelines, you meeting those guidelines, they may have 12 different streams of investors or banking institutions out there that they'll get their line of credit from. You will also have to meet those guidelines. This happens all the time. A lot of people don't get qualified from one lender and they get qualified for another lender and they ask why. It's because of the overlays. Because what happens is your lender is going to end up selling that loan to a investor, and that investor may package it up and sell it as a bond to a different country, okay? And they may package it up and it may be insured as a AAA mortgage. So that's actually how it works. So just keep that in mind. And that's why I always want to explain to you as a consumer, you have to take a look at a mortgage broker versus a banker. A mortgage broker will go out there and broker the deal, and he may have 12 different lines of credit. If you go to, let's just say, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, your traditional banking, you may only have one or two traditional investors that will take on those type of loans. You make it or you don't make it. So that's why it's very important when you get with a realtor, that realtor knows what your situation is. And at that point, they're going to give you some options that you may want to talk to this lender or this lender or this lender. However, as a consumer, it is always best to shop lenders and also find out what your lending estimate is going to be. Your lending estimate will give you the breakdown of the cost and the fees that lender will charge you, okay? Now, you may go to one lender and they may give you a different cost. This is where you're going to compare apples to apples. Now, if one lender finds out that you're shopping him, in which you should tell him, that's how you're going to get the great deal, and that's what we call the power of leverage. Now, sometimes lenders will fudge the numbers or change the language, so you want to know exactly what you're going to pay for based upon customary practices. So, the first thing to do is to get educated out here in the Las Vegas real estate market. Find out what consumers are actually paying for, what sellers are paying for based upon how the contract is written. Then from there, you are going to speak to your lender and request a lending estimate based upon how the contracts and customary practices are written out here. At that point, you should get a more of a fine line as far as what your total closing costs will be. Then you go to your second lender, and that is very important, okay? Also, I want to tell you that your interest rate is not locked in until you are actually under contract. So that is very important. The first thing that you have to worry about is what your fees are. The second thing is that what will your interest rate be should you lock in today? However, sometimes a lender will explain to you that your interest rate today is only at 4.25 and you're happy with it. By the time you're about to close, now it's 4.8, okay? Now, you realize your closing cost is a little bit high, and basically what he did was actually buy down points. And that's why, folks, it is very important to find out what the cost will be from lender to lender. So that way, you are doing your homework up front, and you want to make sure that you're getting a fair deal, okay? What I've realized, a lot of people, once they get qualified, they don't speak to a second lender or get a second opinion. I don't know why. I would highly recommend it, okay? Also, let me give you a prime example. I do have a few investment properties, and I do work with a certain lender. He will always get the deal done. But here's the thing. Even though I do business with this lender, and I've built a relationship now for 10 years with this lender, he doesn't get all my business. Even on my personal stuff, he knows that I will actually shop his loan, believe it or not. And unfortunately, the last deal that we just closed on a rental property, I didn't use him because his fees were great, but his rates were a little bit too high, okay? Now, a second company that I went to, the fees were the same, but the rates were lower. So, you know, as an investor, it's all about the cash flow. And business is business at the end of the day, so keep that in mind. Okay. Let's see here. Thinking of moving to Las Vegas and purchasing a home. Okay, that's nice. Living in the city more than 3 years, then moving out of the country. Condo as a rental, a general advice. You know what? Let's see here. I'm going to try to find a good one. Isn't it kind of late in Canada right now? I think you guys are 3 hours ahead, right? In Canada? Any concerns with the builder climate? That's actually a pretty good question. Regarding the buildings out here, what I've noticed traveling around the United States, a lot of these homes are actually built based upon the climate. Out here, it's actually 2x4 and actually stucco and chicken wire mesh with concrete slabs. You actually have decorative tile. Like if you actually went out to Hawaii, I've noticed like you don't get insulation or anything like that. You just basically get like a thin wall, and they're like plantation homes, and they are pretty much just as pricey out here in Las Vegas. But again, it really has to do with the climate that you actually live in. 750 Dragon Ridge, great house to review. Let's see. What is your favorite negotiating tip? What is your favorite negotiating tip? Okay, for new homes, I'm gonna help you guys out here. Should you not use me, that's completely okay. Okay. If you are gonna purchase a new home, number one, when you walk in there, do not seem so eager that you really want the home, because it's just like a shark. Once they smell blood, you're done. There's no leverage as far as negotiating. The first thing that you are going to do is, once you find out which model, which lot you want, you price it all out with that person. Then at that point, if you want a discount, you will never be able to negotiate the price. The reason why is because if you negotiate the price, then what happens is the builder's going to lose out, because the next person will negotiate the price. Where you are going to negotiate is, number one, is your lot. Okay? They will charge you for a lot, 20, 30,000. Negotiate your lot. That's how you're going to save some money. You're going to get money up front. Number two, normally builders will have 3 different type of elevations to actually pick from. When I say elevation, I'm actually talking about the exterior of the home. Now, you have exterior A, B, and C. Normally A is free. B is probably about $6,000 more, and another $6,000 for C. Not only that, once you pick an elevation, depending on the color scheme that you go with, may also cost you more money. So, what you are going to do, and if the elevation does not matter to you, how it works in master plan communities, you can't have elevation A and elevation A right next to each other. If you only have one option, which is C, and they are charging you $7,000, you're going to explain to that agent, I want a home, but however, here's the deal breaker for me. I do not like that elevation. But really, you really do want that elevation. So that's how you're going to save that additional money too as well. Now, unfortunately, depending on the market and also the location too as well, you may come across, excuse me, you may come across a property that you are actually really interested in. You know it's actually a good buy as far as the price per square foot. And we always talk about the price per square foot. That's what you're going to use as a barometer. So if you know that this is a good deal, then here's the thing. If you can't negotiate the deal, you need to ask yourself at the end of the day, is this something that you really want? Okay? Now, once you're under contract, then at that point, you can negotiate some options. Okay? Or when you're going through the process, the home inspection, something comes up, you can also negotiate that too as well. Now, on resale homes, if you are going to negotiate, you are going to negotiate the price up front. There was a deal that we just recently did at $1.5 million. We picked up the home for $1.2 million, believe it or not. Okay? The good news is that once you start hitting the price point around the 1.5 million, the negotiations on those are about $100,000, 50,000, 60, 200,000. It really just depends how motivated those sellers are. So the first thing that you're going to do is, number one, run the comps, see what the price per square footage is. The second thing is that you're going to want to find out, what did the seller actually pay for the home. The third thing you're going to do is number three is you are going to speak to that listing agent. You are going to build a rapport with that listing agent, right? Once you build the rapport, your whole job is to actually extract as much as information to find out, why is the seller wanting to sell the home? What is the motivation? Especially if the home is vacant, that puts you in a better position. Imagine having a mortgage on $1 million. That's almost about $6,800 a month, depending on the interest rate, okay? Let's just say $6,800 a month. Every month that goes along, and one thing you'll notice out here in Vegas, if homes that are around the 1.5 million, the average listings that listing agents will take is 1 year. So imagine 10 months on the market. That's like $68,000. So that's why it's very important to work with a realtor that knows how to negotiate a deal, where to look, where to get the information, find out what the seller's situation is, and come up with an idea on where we are going to negotiate this. And the most important thing is, once you are under contract, it is game over, okay? Sometimes it's better just to negotiate your price, but knowing that there's something wrong with the property, okay? You will not ask for those items up front. Once you are under escrow is open, what you're gonna do is drag them out to deeper water. This doesn't happen all the time. However, I would like to say I'm a pretty good negotiator. At the end of the day, I don't call the shots. I just tell you my opinions and how things are. I work for you, you call the shots. But there was a case where the air conditioning was broken, okay? And we knew that the sellers had left the property and they were going through a divorce. However, if I was the agent that was representing the seller, I would not have said anything. So now this gives me some leverage. So the first thing that we did, we asked for a price reduction of $10,000. And then what happened was, we got under the contract. Knowing and taking the risk, and sometimes you have to take a risk, right? My buyer knew the game plan. He was willing to roll the dice. What happened was, we did a home inspection, and that's where we actually beat up the seller. Unfortunately, the seller was in the position where they were backed up in the corner, and we took advantage of the situation. So we actually got about $40,000 off on the home. Granted, my client had to probably put in about $10,000 to get things fixed right and get things done. However, yes, can you actually buy a home that is in an equity position? Yes, you have to find those type of homes. They're not always out there, but we're pretty good at getting those type of homes, okay? Man, I'm just like yapping it up. Love from Germany. Thank you so much, guys, for the support. I really, really appreciate each and every one of you guys. I really do. Okay, so we got somebody that is a senior in high school and wants to go into real estate. I don't know rather or not if college would be useful for me. I tell you what, if I could have actually went back, I probably would have took a business course. Unfortunately, I've been in the business now for 10 years and thumbing my way through it. However, it cost me a lot of money to go through the process, but business is great. I've learned how to run business. I learned how to manage people, okay? Now, if I was in your position, Yes, you should just go to college to get educated, so that way you can have a step above everybody. But don't go there to slack off. Go there to learn. Okay? However, why don't you just do real estate part-time? Okay? If you're just a senior, just thinking about getting it, get in right away. When I first started, I had a buddy of mine. I think I was only like 30 or 31 when I got my license. You know, I was just a young teenager, going through my 20s, just kind of drifting, didn't know what I wanted to do. I partnered up with this kid, Josh Ambrose. Cool dude. He just got out of high school. Potential was there. Okay? This kid, right, had so many years ahead of me. So if you're thinking about doing it, now's the time to do it. But there's one thing I want to share with you. The money that you make in this business, you can't just spend your money. Okay? Some months may be lower than other months. Some months you may make a lot of money. Okay? You have to save for taxes. In addition to that, it's what you do with your money. It's not about how much money you make. I always tell this to my daughter, my nieces, and my nephew. It's not about how much money you make. It's what you do with the money. Okay? Here's the thing. At the end of the day, real estate is great, but you need to make sure you are actually investing your money. What I've learned about real estate is that it really has taught me to become an entrepreneur. So when people ask me, what is it that you do for a living? I tell them I'm actually an entrepreneur. However, my primary business is actually real estate. But I actually have, I think, about 7 or 8 lines of income that's actually coming in. And that's what the name of the game is. It's about income coming in. How many streams of income that comes in. So hopefully you guys actually, well, this senior kid takes it to heart. Get started, man. It's worth it. Okay? If this is something that you want to do. But if you're just kind of sitting on the sidelines, then this may not be for you if you're kind of teeter-tottering back and forth. If you're going to do it, go all in. Seriously, all in. Also, if you're going to college part-time, join a real estate company, okay? Learn from the best. Because here's the thing. When I first started, it was hard work and hard work. Also, you got to know your market and what's going on. But that actually comes with time, okay? Got to jump back in here. See your guys' comments. Trust me, I really want to show you guys what's going on. Oh, I'm going to turn that off here. Got so many comments. Do you think carrying a gun is necessary for a realtor? You know what? There was actually a report that came out in the Las Vegas Review Journal. They were talking about it, but I didn't really read that report. But, I mean, I don't know. That's a good question. However, I'm not going to tell you if I carry a gun or not, okay? Gabby, what I'm going to do is actually talk to you personally on the phone. So I'm going to give you a call this week. Not Monday, probably Tuesday or Wednesday. We're going to talk about that over the phone. Because that's a little bit more personal. And I want to get more in depth with your situation. The chat line is not working properly. Also, what I'm going to do is also bring in Dan French with Mutual of Omaha. He's a lender. I've been doing a lot of business with him for the past 10 years. And I think it's actually good that we bring in a lender to actually ask those questions that you guys want about financing. And you hear it from him directly. I live in Las Vegas and thinking about getting my license at Key Realty. Well, I tell you what, I actually enjoy Key Realty. If you see Ted, tell him I said what's up. better value in resale as opposed to new home construction. Excuse me, guys. Yes, on a resale, okay, you are going to get it based upon the current value. On a new home, typically a consumer will spend about 15 to 20% above the base price. I have had clients that 2 years, 3 years contacted me and decided to sell their new home, but based upon all the fees and all that stuff, they were actually still negative, believe it or not. Okay? So it really depends on what the situation is. If you're planning on to purchasing a new home and you're going to stay in the home for the next 10 years, then that's something that you may want to consider. But actually, how do we really define this? So the first thing that you have to take a look at is, what was the appreciation in 2018? 11.1%, right? So you know that 2019, based upon the numbers and the data, we are going to be anywhere from about 7.5% to about 9% this year. So, okay, you're live. Okay, so you know that if you buy a $300,000 home, next year is going to appreciate 10%. That's $30,000, right? But however, on a brand new home, you spent 20%. So that tells you you're going to have to stay in the property for at least 2 years. However, this is the one thing that people do not think about. What about your realtor fees? What about closing costs, taxes, and insurance that you have to pay? Those are the things that you have to ask yourself. So you're not going to have to stay in the property for 2 years. You're probably going to have to stay for 5 years, believe it or not. Because at the end of the day, you don't know where that horizon is as far as where this market is going in 3, 4, 5 years. The only thing that we can predict is what's happening now. What is the trend? So wherever you live, the first thing that you need to do is to take a look at what your primary sector is. And what I mean by that is, within your city, okay, what is the number one job? So let's say Texas, oil money, right? They have oil, the medical field. That's what stimulates their economy. Here in Las Vegas is tourism and hospitality. Okay? So you know this is a place where people come and spend extra money, right? So if you know that the market tanks, do you think people are going to come here and spend extra money? No. So what's going to happen to Las Vegas? Florida was number 1 in 2008. Number 2 was Las Vegas. With this recession, that's coming, and I don't know when, because I don't have a crystal ball. If I did, I wouldn't be. So, like I said, if I had a crystal ball, I wouldn't be selling real estate. So, what you need to do, I'm sorry, let's go back. Las Vegas. We know that this place is a place for tourism, right? So one of the things that we have to take a look in is actually the leading indicator is how many people visit Las Vegas every single month. Just a little bit over 4 million, okay? I'm sorry, 3 point something million, which accounts to about 42 million a year. I didn't check the data yet for 2018, which is I will, and we will talk about that. Not today, but when I pull up the data. So our leading indicators is every month, we always have to take a look at how many people are actually coming out here, okay? Because we know the average person that stays here, excuse me, spends about $339 a day here in Las Vegas. Once those numbers starts to drop, right, because people are retracting and not spending money, that's going to be our leading indicator. Okay, so these numbers are actually very important. Where you're going to find that data is the Las Vegas Visitors Authority. Okay, also you can go to the city of Las Vegas, the city of Henderson to actually pull the data. Also, the other thing that you want to take a look at is the population. Also, how much people are actually moving within your city. Our city here, 4,500 people every single month. Okay? The average household income right now in this state is about $51,000. Okay? Now, at $51,000, all these people that are making $51,000, you have to ask yourself, what are they actually qualified for, making about $51,000 a year per household? $51,000, you're probably going to be qualified for about $450,000. So you know right now, majority of your buyers are at that price point. Okay? That's why in today's market, people are having a hard time negotiating a deal. The lower that you go on the price point, the harder you're going to make it for yourself. In addition to that, the location that you go to, you may make it harder on yourself. The more bedrooms, the more garage that you add, the more square footage, you're going to run into more challenges. It's like this. We have over 7,500 homes currently on the market that ranges from $20,000 all the way to $30 million. You're only qualified for about $450,000. You're only looking at a home for about $300,000. Bam! You're an FHA buyer. Bam! You're looking over 1,800 square feet. Bam! You're looking in SUMMERLIN. Let's just say bam. So what you're looking for, that's all you have. Believe it or not. Okay? I'm just rambling on. It's been 36 minutes. I gotta hurry up and end this video. So, what is your question here? I put in watching this video. I would like to be acknowledged. Well, I'm acknowledging you right now. I'm sorry I couldn't get to your question. I do apologize. So I am answering your question. However, you don't have a question for me. Feels that way, but thanks. You're responding. I'm sorry. Well, if I'm not responding to you, I do apologize. Let's see, any other questions here? Where is the cheapest areas where I can buy a home? Let me tell you something. It's not about where the cheapest area is. Okay? It's about what you want in a home. What you're looking for. Why would you cut yourself short? If you're going to cut yourself short to purchase a home like that, you probably shouldn't be buying a home. You're buying it for the wrong reasons. It seems like Las Vegas has really nice houses for a great price. Now, what's crazy is I look at all these comments. Some people think the homes out here are very expensive. Some people think the homes out here are very cheap. What I have come to the conclusion is that a lot of people take a look at the homes out here and look at the price and base it upon where they live. So you can't do that. That's why when you look at homes out here in Las Vegas, you should shop based upon the price per square foot. Always use that as a barometer. Okay? Well, guys, I do appreciate all you guys that have stuck with me for the past 40 minutes. I really do appreciate that. I will release or actually upload a new video hopefully tomorrow or Monday. Other than that, I want you guys to have a great weekend. And if you guys have any questions regarding real estate or financing based upon your situation, because everybody has a certain type of situation that we can actually resolve the problem or actually point you in the right direction, give me a call. In all my videos, you'll have on the bottom of the description, you'll have my contact information and also my email address. So feel free to reach out to me anytime. Other than that, hey guys, I really do appreciate you guys spending a Saturday night with me. But I got to get a little bit more work done and I got to get out of here. So